Hey, welcome to Luke and Lewis. We've got a guest today, one of my favourite comedians, brilliant guy, good friend. Welcome to the show, Amos Gill.
Yeah, g'day, boys.
Mate, welcome.
You see, I wore my hype beast shoes because I know that you're
Good.
a hype beast.
Good,
Lewis.
good,
You got
yeah.
the Bape on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, together.
Still
The tallest Japanese schoolboy around.
You know, together we make up a month of rent. It's good.
Those are the Shark Short brand.
Yeah.
Oh, we convinced our boss to buy us $350 Shark Shorts because we told them it would improve the quality of the show.
So the boss.
Yeah, Money Ryan. He's the guy who pays for this
right.
compound.
He's the daddy.
Yeah, got a bit of cash. So sometimes
Okay.
we just
Now,
come
they're
up.
in this compound, which is amazing, by the way. Like
Yeah.
I'm like flabbergasted that you can. I don't know why I said flabbergasted. I've never said that before. That's just one of the weird
That's
things in a
the type
microphone.
of vocab that this place
Flabbergasted.
evokes.
I know.
You just get a little
You're
bit
like, this is a bit fancy. I'm Buddy Flabbergasted.
Is there? I saw there's a podcast like in a studio. Over there. Is there an OnlyFans star in the complex? Like, do they have complexes like this for OnlyFans girls to come?
I think upstairs they are working with something to do with OnlyFans. So yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Like, that's the future, is compounds like this with different sets.
They
for the
were
girls to do
watching
their
porn,
content.
yeah.
They were watching some adult content up there the other day, so
Yeah.
that explains it. Maybe it was for work.
Of course, research. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're watching Bad Barbie and
How
What's your-
crazy is that?
2 million?
She turned 18, and the day one she was 18,
know.
she printed $1 million on OnlyFans. What's concerning about that is she must have a big team. When she was 17, they
They
were
were
like,
planning it.
all right, we're going to help you set up an OnlyFans account. That account, we should look at what day it was created. If it was created when she was 17,
Dude,
lock them up.
My girlfriend's calling me as soon as we're talking OnlyFans.
She knows.
Piss off. That is a good point. I was thinking about that because, like, when you launch,
Yeah.
all the content is like ready to go. Hold on one second. Lou, I'm talking OnlyFans on a podcast. I'm talking about OnlyFans on a podcast, so I'm going to have to call you back. Okay.
Didn't
Sorry
seem
about
too
that.
thrilled about
No,
it.
she's not. So that's one of those, like, it'll be funny, and then her tone's real flat, and you go, okay, probably didn't get a laugh on the camera, and I'm fucked at home. So that's but she, like, you would have all the content ready to go.
So maybe that's
So-
actually child porn that she's selling as an adult.
Yes, like later on. So we're looking at her nude when she was like 17 and 360 days. So, like,
Ooh,
if
dangerous.
whoever sent that million, and this is like a big elaborate ruse.
No.
Yeah.
QAnon spoke about this, and it's
Yeah.
going to lure out like all the pedos.
I like to imagine they took all the content on the morning
Okay,
of
so
her 18th.
what if you watched it and you're in a different time zone, right? And like she's
Ooh,
not 18.
yeah.
She's not 18 where you live.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, it also
Like
depends.
she's in New York and you live in LA.
No, it
Yeah.
actually depends where she's born, what time zone she was born in.
Okay,
What
but-
she was born
Yeah.
in. True.
But you're a time zone pedophile.
That's true. That's like you know, there's a bit of astrology in there as well, you know. Depending
Do you
on the
reckon-
stars and the moons, I may not be a pedophile.
Who got onto her first, you think? OnlyFans or Crystalia?
Dude, I had a conversation with my friend the other day, and I haven't done, because of the festival, I haven't done washing in about 4 weeks. Dude, I was tossing up between wearing Crystalia merch and a System of a Down t-shirt. That
Ooh,
is
what's
so
worse?
grim.
Yeah, he's got the Cosby hat as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there weighing up my options, and I was like, I've got to go System of a Down. Fuck. I was like, what am I doing? I don't even know any of their songs.
I
What
would
did
say
the
that's
System
worse.
of a Down person do?
Oh, none. They're a shit band from the 90s. I don't know. I don't know who they are. I bought it for a 90s dress-up party.
I
Amos
thought we
started
were-
uninstalling their music.
Yeah,
from
I was-
No,
Spotify.
I bought it for a dress-up party from an op shop. I don't know who they are.
I was just going to check if that's in my house music. I'm like, what has the front man done?
Nah, I
People
think-
are falling like flies, man.
No, I
Yeah.
think they're just like, 90s Nickelback, like, oh, what's up
Dude,
with
I
them?
thought like that. You're about to get a defamation suit putting them all together.
No,
true.
not defamation. In my opinion, they're just shit.
Yeah, I actually exclusively wear exposed pedophile merch. You know, I've got Michael Jackson's shit at home.
Yeah.
I've got everything. You know,
I got a Woody Allen signed record
Ooh,
on my wall, and I've
criminal record.
there is no criminal record.
True, it's all good.
Okay,
it's
it's
all
all
good. On
conjecture.
paper, it's fine.
But it's on like, it's behind in my lounge room. I've got like framed records of people. I had a Cosby that is not on display at the moment, but I've got the Woody Allen, and I watched that documentary.
Yeah.
And after every episode, my girlfriend and I would look at each other and be like, does it stay yet? We're like, it's not compelling enough evidence yet.
You know what I would
we'll
say?
see.
I would say without watching it, having a documentary is enough.
It's not good.
Shame on you, Ruben. You've been trying to get me into Woody Allen quite recently. You sent me a couple of his clips.
Oh, he's a fucking great stand-up. I mean, can't take that away.
Oh, we know that. The moose bit is a fantastic.
that was the video.
Look that up. But I think it's the sucking and sort of licking your little daughter's tits in an attic that I've got an issue with.
Yeah, that's a
The Woody Allen thing is like, fuck. So like my mum loves Woody Allen.
Can you explain it to
Okay.
me? Every time I hear it, I try to remember it. It's so convoluted.
Right, so there's two things.
Yeah.
Before this whole Dylan thing, like he had a daughter called Dylan.
Sus.
And she apparently said that he took her into an attic and was like touching her vagina when she was about 5 or 6.
It wasn't his daughter.
Dylan? No, that was his actual daughter.
Oh, Dylan was his daughter?
Yeah, Dylan was his
Ruben's
daughter.
a big Woody
Wait,
Allen
Woody
advocate.
Allen's daughter.
Woody Allen's daughter.
No, this is
Okay,
Dylan.
Ruben's currently throwing out his records right now. He goes, hang on a second.
It's like, wait, what?
Maybe
He's taking his t-shirt off right
This is
now.
Dylan Farrow, isn't it?
Dylan Farrow, yeah, but
No, that's not his daughter. That's Mia Farrow's daughter.
yeah, but he had her with Mia.
No, I don't
and
think-
Ronan.
So what
No, I
Ruben's
don't
saying
think
here
so.
is it's
Hold on.
only bad
Yeah,
to
Jamie,
fuck
pull
a
that shit
child
up.
if you're related to them. That's his argument. It's like if you're
Come on,
not
kill it.
related, it's fine.
someone pull that up. But I'll tell you the other thing is that so when he married with Mia Farrow, she had an existing daughter from Korea
Yes.
called Sunyi Pervin.
Yes.
And,
Yes, and he started
Woody
taking
left,
it literally. He started perving.
Woody left Mia for her, and they've been together like ever since.
Yes.
So my mum was always just like, well, you know, it's love, you know.
is
But
the
it's fucking weird. Like
is
that
weird.
is almost in
Marrying
today's day and age.
your kind of adopted daughter.
And he'd known her for like a long time, and then they
that's-
ran off with each other.
it's just like it's not illegal, right? But it's something sick about it.
There's something
It's the
wrong.
bad
Yeah.
baby thing. It's like he was probably thinking
Yeah.
about it, and then as soon as he turns, 18.
Like at what day did he start to entertain?
Yeah,
those
I
thoughts?
feel like that didn't start right at 18.
But
It would've
Annie
been
Hall
like-
is like a tremendous film.
And
So, you know.
as you said, the moose bit slaps.
Moose Pit slaps. Can we get some like? What's the story? Is
So Dylan Farrow is Mia Farrow's adopted daughter. And I don't believe she was adopted by Woody either. He married into that.
what's
So it's
the
fine.
furor?
Yeah. See,
mean-
it's only bad if you're related. That's the science of this.
Nah, look, it's all bad. But like,
Yeah.
fuck, is there anyone left?
Well, it makes you. At first, I was like, man, what's wrong with my taste? Like, I seem to like the art of pedophiles, and now I'm like, well, actually, it seems like what's wrong with the fucking entertainment industry? Where it
Yeah.
seems like a lot
I
of
watched
them are doing that.
Louis 5 nights in a row post allegations at the cellar.
Not me.
In
You pointed at me. Fuck, man.
No, CK,
Don't point
CK.
at me and go, Louis post allegation. People are going to be like, wait, what? Start Googling, throwing my merch out. Louis CK.
What's the allegation that he buys his bape stuff from Depop and it's fake? Is that the
Yeah.
allegation?
I hope not.
Just allegedly dresses
Man's been
like
ripped.
shit. That's funny. Yeah, but I watched like Louis CK after the all the stuff that came out, and people loved him. No one had a problem with it in New York.
like the worst thing for Louis was
Women were on their feet as he came on. I was like, Jesus, I'm come from Melbourne.
See,
I'm a
that's
long
the-
way from home.
That's the concerning bit is when you see Louis C.K. and before he performs, he gets the standing ovation. That's the concerning bit. I would at the very least wait to see how he
I'd
does.
hear him out.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, I don't think you're done, but you still have to be good at stand up.
like, they just want to make sure he doesn't open with "I did it and I'll do it again." You know, like
Yeah.
No, but like, how did he get lumped in with like Weinstein?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he was
That's
just
the Me
jacking
Too.
off, right? He was just a
I
And
crazy-
think-
he asked.
yeah.
He did us. I think the thing with Louis was he was just a bit of a fucking horny idiot, and he didn't wait for enthusiastic consent.
Correct.
Is his biggest fuck up, which I think that you do need, because like, fine, I don't think that's really enough.
No.
You know.
We've taken quite a dark
Yeah.
start to
Yeah,
this
Amos
That's
is
podcast.
what
on
I
the show.
bring.
Yeah, you just bring that energy from
Don't be
Adelaide.
fooled by my Comme de Garçon love hearts. I'm full of hate.
Yeah. No. That's
According to
why I love
Melbourne.
you, mate.
Yeah,
I
so
think,
have you been finding the festival? You're down
Oh,
here.
it's a hellscape. It's truly.
You're in Melbourne because
Truly a
you've
nightmare.
done your full run in Adelaide and a
Perth.
few other Perth.
Adelaide.
So you know what the show is, and you know that it's sick by now.
It's good. Like the point of my show is taking a lot of dark topics and then going, I literally say to the audience, now I don't have to say this in any other city. I go, I'm about to say some things now that I don't believe, but we have these dark thoughts in our head, all of us. And if you say them, you elicit laughter, which is what comedy used to be.
Yes.
Whereas like in Melbourne, I watch a lot of comedians and I'm like, why are you saying the right thing? Like there's like irony's dead. So like everyone just says the right woke point and then they get like a clap and we all laugh at who's wrong and how society's so backwards. And it's like when I started comedy, if you were like ripped and you made jokes about how ripped you were, you'd be a douche. It'd be like, why are you bragging about how strong you are? Okay. If you spoke about how rich you were, it'd be like, why are you bragging about how rich you are? But now it's like you can do material about how morally pure and strong you are.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's the same thing. I go, I don't want to know when you were the good guy. Tell me about when you fucked up, when you had a dark thought. And it's like, that's gone. And these Melbourne audiences have lost assuming that you might be being ironic when you say this wild shit. And they think you actually like stand for it and believe in it. And it's
Even
like,
though you've just told them.
What
10
are we
minutes
doing
ago.
here?
You bought a ticket
So
to a
boring.
comedy show. It's in the fucking name. It's I've noticed that I've had to do, because I think this is probably my darkest show this year, and it's great. But every now and then I have to go, hey, it's all right, guys. I know what I'm doing. I'm in control. I'm not going to fucking go on some hectic rant. This will end with laughter. You just have to fucking come with me. And sometimes people, my crowds have been great, but sometimes you do see people where you say your premise and they go, oh, well, I'm not allowed. Sorry.
Yeah, I just like to be a devil's advocate on a point. Like, whatever the cultural topic is, it's like we all know, and I hate that I have to be like, every human being should be treated with respect, no matter their race, no matter their sexual orientation or gender. You go, of course we all think that, but I'm going to just say a funny thing, like I'm talking about owning stocks, because I bought into stocks with my super money. Yeah. And I do this routine about how I got into Rio Tinto, and when I was at uni, I thought they were evil. But then Rio Tinto blew up like a sacred indigenous site. Yeah. And I do a whole routine about like, is that sacred site that sacred? Like it's never been on Getaway. I've never seen it on a postcard. Like, could we afford to lose one? And then I do a story about a Dreamtime story about the gold that fell from the stars into the land, and the evil red sand trapped it down because it shone too brightly. And it took the giant Rio Tinto from a foreign land to free the gold from its evil captor, the sand, so the gold could shine again.
It's so fucked because the crowd just looks at you like you blew up the sacred
100%.
site.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about it. Like it happened. It's actually a fact.
Yeah, I don't support it happening, but this is a funny Dreamtime story about Rio Tinto closing the gap between Indigenous Australians and white Australians by smelting gold and giving them healthcare, and I get a 12% return on my super, right? And then they look at you like you're a piece of shit, and you go like, I don't have TNT in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Like I have to pay the coffee the other day. I'm fucking broke. What do you want me to get up there at the comedy show and go, hey, Rio Tinto, don't do that?
I know, it's
All
like,
right,
what's the
next point.
alternative? What's the alternative to that stuff? The alternative, if me saying a fuck thing that we all know is not wrong, and that is kind of the joke, the alternative that you seemingly want from me is, oh, bad things are bad and we should be good. That's not funny at all.
Well, dude, I got so angry. I've been fucking panning at my audience. They just didn't laugh at some thing that I know works, and it works at the Comics Lounge. It works with older people.
That's the most
because they're all
frustrating
young.
thing.
I get a lot of TikTok younger people, and you just say a point and they don't agree with it, so they don't laugh. And I just go like, I just stop the show and I go, why the fuck did you all come? I go, the project's for free. It's on TV right now. It's airing. You're missing it. Watch that.
The project isn't for free. There's a soul cost.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For watching that. Be
But it's
careful
just-
what you-
Every open micer who writes for that show is their soul's just withering.
It's just, it makes me sad. Like I look at these kids and they look at each other to see if they can laugh. I see them decide. And I go, and I interviewed a kid one night. I was like, hey man, I saw you decide not to laugh. I want to know why. And I want to know, like, and he just was like, I don't know. Like,
But I don't have the courage. Sometimes I do. I do say like, why didn't you laugh? And
I
then
try and do
people
it
just
in
be
a
like,
funny way.
It wasn't funny, and that one really hurts you.
That's
Like there's nothing
That's the
worse
danger of
than
that.
you thinking like these PC bitches, and then you say it to them, and they're like basically an alt-right kid, and they're like, nah man, I'm I'm a supporter of the alt-right, and even I thought that was just lame.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
like,
danger.
fuck, I thought it was some greenie.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
guy with like Ben Shapiro t-shirt on.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. He just thinks it's shit.
Yeah.
I watched your set the other night. I caught like you doing 15 minutes at like this thing called a comedy pub crawl, which I would say would have to be, just by the name alone, one of the looser crowds you'd get in Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bunch of people who are not that into comedy, but are like, oh, there's
They go
beers,
from
I'll
pub to
come.
pub getting pissed,
yeah,
and there's comedy. You'd think that'd be, almost a fucking
Nah, but
brawl
like,
every
too,
night.
I did start off by saying how I was happy to watch Melbourne suffer through COVID. And
And it was funny.
may have
I'm
something to
from
do with
Melbourne, but me and my mates are at the back, fucking dying laughing because we were like, yeah, you guys did have a.
well,
better
I was
than
just
us.
the reason I did it is in Perth and Adelaide, I would open by being like, wasn't it good watching Melbourne suffer? Because if you're in a small satellite city,
yeah.
you get shat on forever. Like, why do you live in Adelaide?
Oh,
nothing
it was
comes
the
to
one
Adelaide.
time Perth could make fun of Melbourne for
Dude.
more than a day. Like,
And if you think
live it
we're
up.
not going to take that
Absolutely.
opportunity and run with it and be like, hey, nothing comes to Adelaide, COVID didn't. What the fuck do you think about that? And I'm like, suck my dick. And the crowd hates me. And I'm like, yeah, but like,
started
that's
it.
not for. I start there. I go, I've been talking about you behind your back. At least give me the credit to knowing and willingly start with a bomb
Yeah,
because I don't want to be dishonest.
yeah.
And then I'm like, but did you enjoy Brisbane going down?
Yes.
And then they start laughing. And I'm like, see,
Yeah.
we're all like
Yeah.
this. Don't think you're better.
Dude, I'm embarrassed to be from Melbourne sometimes. When I go into state and do gigs, I get annoyed at the MCs when they go all the way from Melbourne. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Because like you're getting on stage on the Gold Coast and they go, oh, cough on us then. Like they just hate it.
Yeah.
And like since COVID.
Well, they're fresh off punching Alex Williamson in the face.
Yeah.
but it's just like
Fuck,
they,
that was good.
they just.
What a clip. I saw him last night.
Yeah.
How was he? Has he pulled up? Still got a bruise?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I still feel like he's kind of like rattled in the head, but you don't know what it, because I was talking to him and I'm like, I always believe that
that's
he
just
wants
Alex.
he wants like the gym reaction to it. He saw Jim Jeffries get punched in the head.
Yeah.
And like Jim Jeffries called me afterwards and was like, cunt's taking my bit, man. He's like,
Well, the thing is, Jim got punched once, right? Getting punched once is great and it's an awesome clip and you can use it to sell tickets. Getting punched like 3 times now? I would be a bit rattled every time I perform.
Yeah.
But he,
I
like,
would get
brings
stage
it on.
and
Do you know what I
I
mean?
would say like he punches back. Like you know what I mean, like
Sometimes-
at one point did
sometimes not
Jim
back.
throw a glass back into
Yeah.
the crowd?
Sometimes not back. Sometimes he punches first. That
Yeah,
may have
it's
something to do with it.
wild. Like I went and saw him at the Ath last night.
It's
and
like the WWE, but the
you don't know
fights
what's
are
going to
real.
happen. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. And I guess that's attractive to go and I personally want to see people talk about ideas about the planet, but I will go along just to see if he tips a beer on someone and I could see him. What if he got like truly hit in the head and he lands on the floor and he's just dead? And Alex and I have the same manager, and I know our manager would still be like asleep on a couch downstairs, like drinking a red wine and be like, yo, Alex is dead. And our manager would be like, well, let's get Frenchie back. Is Josh Wade around still?
He'd probably wheel him out comatose for the stage. All right, throw your beers. That'll be $50.
The loosest Aussie vegetable.
They call him loose because the wheels are loose.
Please do the loosest Aussie vegetable, Alex. He would still be better than most comics I'm seeing at this festival.
Mate, look, I don't want to trash people, but the festival is, look, it's awesome. It's great.
No, it's good. It's good. Support him. Put me on the gala next year.
Yeah, it's good.
You did the gala.
Yeah, well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did the All Stars show, and it was.
Well, the All-Stars, you sent me a message afterwards. You're like, hey, man, can I talk about this? Obviously clearing it. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go
man.
for it. You sent me an email that you got from a festival representative before your spot.
No, so I did the gala, and you have to obviously send a script for that. And that makes sense to me because it's the ABC.
The gala,
You
if
know
you
what?
don't know, it's a bunch of comedians. They get their whole set filmed. It's a line-up night. About 3 to 4 minutes of your act goes, and it's like, this is the start of the festival. It's the biggest night of
And
comedy.
it used to break your career back when TV mattered.
It's the Australian equivalent of Live at the Apollo if you're in the UK, Just for Laughs if you're in America.
Used to
or
be the
whatever.
thing when I was a kid that I would watch every year, and it was the most exciting thing in the world.
Fuck yeah.
And whoever was best, they would just sell every single fucking ticket.
And now, like we said, because the ABC, TV in general,
It doesn't even air. It used to air like primetime Channel 10. Now it airs on like not primetime iView or whatever.
Getting on the gala now is like being drafted to like the Hawks now. And you're like, man, I just missed the premiership dynasty. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, if I was here 5 years ago, like what a time! But now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm here for the rebuild phase. Yeah, fantastic.
So we've done it before. We might do it again.
They're like, hey, can you hang out here for 10 years while the guy sorts this out?
Yeah.
I'll be too
Okay.
old then, won't I?
Yeah, just regarding what you said, what you're not going to get on next year.
So, I severely doubt it. They didn't want to let me on this year, but we finally got a spot. And I was fine to do that then. And I always feel a little on the out, like the festival's been good to me over the years or whatever, but the more that my show, I openly am on there, just playing left, playing right, just not taking a partisan stance on like the correct thing to say all the time.
Which is boring.
I do feel a little, not plenty, but there's a soft ostracism that starts to happen where you're just not in the promotional materials.
You're not going to
you
get
know.
blocked. You're just not going to get promoted
No.
heaps because you
Which
don't
is
have
fine,
the right
whatever.
opinion.
That's why I've always respected you guys on the do your own internet shows, because it's like, don't bitch and moan. It is their right to put forward whoever they want. They're a business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can either complain about that or you just go and do your own shit,
gotta
and
get that
hopefully people
government
find
grant
it.
I just
money.
looked very early on when I was coming up and went, that's not for me.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, also went, that's not going to happen. And also went, I don't particularly want to be
Well,
associated
you
with that.
could. You
either.
just have to buy a ukulele for $45.
Yeah.
Maybe get a few MP3s.
But I'm
learn a
not
dance
even good at
routine.
painting my face in drag, so I could never.
Okay, but I want to talk about this. So the festival club's like a late night, just a late night set the festival puts on.
Is
right?
that even filmed?
No, it's not filmed, just a late night comedy club. I got this email from my manager. Hey, Amos, hope you're ace. Just had a request come through for a bit of a script outline for what you're planning to do at the festival club on Saturday night. Do you have any idea of what spot you'll do? Please send through dot points or script that I can pass on ASAP. Just needs to be a brief outline. And I was like, I messaged back. I'm like, it's a like $100 spot for 7 minutes at the festival club. And before I blew up, I just questioned like everyone else that was on. I'm like, do you have to do a script?
Yeah.
And all my other friends that were on, like, nah. And so I was like, well, no. I'm like, that's fucking offensive.
Yeah.
That I have to script my, like, I've been doing comedy for 10 years. I'm at this festival. You put me on your TV show, but they're afraid because, like, I don't know. Like, maybe they truly believe I have some wild Milo Yiannopoulos act.
They just think you're going to pull a Kramer and just snap.
Just gonna
Or
snap.
something like that.
Yeah, I like what they wrote, like what you're planning to do, like maybe jokes, maybe a mass shooting. I haven't decided yet. You know, it
Yeah, look,
depends
if I
what's
can
in my
find a
bag.
magazine clip, I was actually hoping on just blowing you all away.
I mean, you
And
do
then-
spend a lot of time in America, so they're probably thinking you're going to come
But,
back
like, yeah, I'm
packing
just-
heat.
I'm just gonna
You
write
said
a
you were
script.
planning to kill. We just wanted to clarify.
I am going to do some material on baby boomers, and then I was thinking of lifting up a shirt that says "I support the white ethno state." So, is that going to be okay? Will I? Am I allowed to sell that shirt afterwards as merch? Just
Yeah.
quickly getting
It
like,
is-
what am I to this?
It
And so
is, it is interesting where I think there's a real disconnect between what the festival wants comedy to be and what people think comedy is
Yeah.
or should be.
Yeah.
And you start to see it really on social media where they'll post clips or just how they advertise the festival and who they put on, where just regular people who are not comedians, they've seen comedy like online on YouTube and they go, oh, is this like Melbourne's best? And the answer is kind of not really.
Well, I just feel
and that's on
bad
purpose.
because I actually don't have an issue with like, you want to do like draggy shows, you
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
do
it's great.
experimental, you want to do alt shows, you want, that they're supporting people like a lot of trans artists. I'm like sick. I want to see as many perspectives as possible. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to shut them down, but I'm like, I know for a fact that if you have a view that's a little to not their taste, you're just hidden and like you're made to feel as though you have no place and you're a dinosaur. And it's like, nah, I want to know what everyone's thinking. That's what I like about comedy, is hearing wild thoughts from each side of the aisle. But that's like kind of gone.
Yeah.
And so my manager was just like, do you want to do it? And I said no, and he was like, oh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because of like the free speech thing. He's like, no, I want to go to bed. It's on at midnight. So that's the same sleepy manager that I'm talking about.
He doesn't have to come.
No, if he likes to go because there's a rider.
Yeah, he is.
My
very
manager
like
is
that.
basically, he's the loveliest guy. It's Andrew Taylor, shout outs, but
Yeah.
borderline alcoholic who
Yeah.
had emphysema last year and was still smoking darts. So.
Oh yeah, every time I've seen him, I've seen more cigarettes than comedians around him. It's
so
one, he is lovely, but one time he real pissed me off. I've raged about this afterwards. I was opening for someone, I can't remember, or maybe it was my show. I was at the Comics Lounge, and he was just there. I must have been opening, and then he comes up to me backstage. He goes, "Mate, that was incredible. That was great." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." He goes, "Yeah, saw you a few years ago. Awful." Terrible. You got much better, and then just walked away. I was like, "What? Don't do that to me.
That's what
just say the first half, man."
No, but doesn't that make you feel better?
Well,
I like that kind of feedback.
I think that I've gotten better, but I didn't think I was awful.
Dude, this guy's like smoking so many cigarettes while he has emphysema. I'm going to be doing the gala one year, and all you'll hear through my spot is an iron lung as he's on the side of the stage. Kill him.
Who will be the vegetable first? Him or Alex?
Exactly. No, so anyway, that kind of kills me about the festival is when I said this the other day to a mate. I was like, when I first started coming to comedy festivals, I was anxious around comedians because I wanted to, what I had to say was funny or poignant or was like, you'd be around these big touring acts. You're like, man, if I'm going to open my mouth, I better not get checked for being lame or hacky.
Yeah.
But now you're like, man, I better not speak around these comedians for a completely different reason. It's like, they'll be like, whoa, dude, that was uncalled for. And
It's
I don't wanna-
really
It's like,
interesting.
why did we all get into comedy? The rules weren't, I would have just been a lawyer if I wanted to, do you know what I mean? If I was going to be,
You wanted
everything
to
was
argue.
dot the I's, cross the T's and be nice and polite all the time. What are we doing here?
It is interesting and it's real. It's getting progressively worse and progressive. Like I hear like regular stories from other comedians of comedians going, "Hey man, you shouldn't do that joke."
Yeah.
And like I've heard it from comedians who have been yelled at by other comics, and I know the joke. I'm like, well, every time they do it, it crushes, and I know who the person is and their soul. They're not bad people, so it should be fine.
My issue with like that side of the argument though is like sometimes you hear people be like, it's PC gone mad, and you are like, no, but you are a shit act. Sometimes you need.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need good comedians to go, hey, I reserve the right to try and say some wild shit for laughs. But there's other times you go, but you aren't the voice to be talking about.
I'm guilty of that. I came out on this podcast and it was like, oh man, like there's crowd were a bit weird the opening night, and then next night I just fixed my show, and I was like, oh, it was much better. It was much better. I'm like, it wasn't them. I was just better.
But that's how comedy works, where it's like where you have to be shit with a new joke and then fix it, and then you get good. But you do need to know the difference between like, oh, they're too soft, or this joke sucks.
Yeah, you got to be smart. Like, you
pretty
got to be a fresh
self-aware.
take. Do you know what I mean?
I'll be the first one to be like, yeah, that bit's not good. I'm often too hard on myself.
I'll give Melbourne credit for this. I've had so much pushback, but like the shows are going really well, but I get way more pushback than like Perth, which sometimes I don't like, but it actually has made the bits a lot stronger because I'm arguing with them.
Yeah.
So for instance, I'm doing that mining bit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this lady in the crowd was like, don't you respect like the indigenous people's land and that it's sacred? And I'm like, actually, no, because if I found out my mum's grave had oil under it, I would say, frack that bitch. So I'm consistently evil. Like, it's not that I don't respect another culture. It's that even my own mother, if there's money in her bones, I will grind them.
Probably more evil.
Just evil.
Yeah.
But like, because I had that, then I started winning them over because it's like, we clearly isn't going to frack his mum's grave. We're just having fun here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have got to that
Yes.
in Perth because the people would have just been like, yeah,
But that's
blow shit up, jet skis.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable thing even to push back on as an audience. Like, you know,
course.
because that is quite a sensitive topic. But I watched you the other night and you were just doing a bit about fat shaming an American and you're making a bunch of fat jokes, whatever.
Which is great.
You get 2 minutes into the bit, you're still going.
Still bombing.
The crowd's pushing back. There's about 30% of the people are howling, laughing. 70% of the people fucking hate it, right? And then you just go, and now you're probably thinking, I'm fat shaming. And you looked at them and went, yes. And I was just like, and the crowd at that point was like, well, fuck yeah, if we don't get on board here, we're just not getting our money's
It's
worth.
a shit night out, No, but I'm now of the opinion, you know, you said there's like 30% laughing. I'm like, good. I just focus on them now.
Yeah.
70% won't come back, and that's good. I'm not for them.
Yeah.
But that 30%, they come back, and then you keep finding a little 30% here and there, and then you end up building a following.
Yeah. And they're the
it's
most
like-
loyal people ever. That's
and I
what
don't
we've
hate
done.
the 70%. I'm like,
No.
yeah, you know what?
That's fine.
Arj is at the festival. Give him a go. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll like him. Maybe you're like, you know, Becky, you're like someone else. But like, I'm not going to bitch about you, but I want that 30. So you might as well do what you genuinely find funny, or you'll be a mediocrity forever.
Exactly. Like, yeah, like that's the type of, and that's why I love the internet, because I can just put out whatever the fuck I want, and then most people in the world will hate what you do. That's just like, otherwise, you know, everyone would be incredibly popular. Most people don't like what you do. You just got to find that small little niche that fucking love it, and they'll come to the shows and they'll be like, man, this is exactly what I ordered. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How do you find like having an internet following? Do you just exclusively play to them now?
No, you
Because
can't.
I do like 4 gigs a week still in Melbourne.
Like the people that listen to this show, do you have like real devotees who bake for you and shit?
Yeah, you have like hardcore fans, but that's the minority. You just have people who are like, man, I liked that big video you did.
Have you got any like private donors that have given you like $5,000 because they just like are obsessed with you?
Yeah.
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 Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
must-
Do you
oh,
feel like a
Jesus.
weird obligation from
It's,
that?
well, you can't because it's weird. It's only ever happened once where someone's given me like a stupid amount of money, and I'm like, hey man, I want to give that back. And but some people just have heaps of money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Would you
I'll
do
give
foot
someone
pics for like on a
$5.
Patreon tier? Would
That's
you
more of
send-
an Ash Williams vibe. Another comedian in
Because
Melbourne.
Ash will sell him.
Oh, Ash will sell anything for cash. He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Well,
hustles.
does he sell foot pics?
Yeah,
does, yeah.
Quite openly advertises it. I think started
Foot
off as a
pics to
joke,
gay dudes.
but he is quite attractive.
As a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's like a 10 out of 10 going, I'm jokingly selling my feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you on McFeast face feeding?
I'm on a website called tallguysfree.com. That is a website for gay dudes who are into tall men, and I am the face of the lanky category.
Wait, hold on. Lanky category on tall. So you,
On
it's
Tall
the
Guys
thin
Free.
dudes, and then
So
there's like
he's even
jack
lanky
guys,
for
jack
the,
guys,
for
fat
the tall guy
guys.
website.
Yeah, I'm the
You're a
face of
lanky
it. Like,
fetish on tall guy.
He,
That
Yeah.
is-
he took a beach pic once in board shorts and it's the cover.
yeah.
How much money for you to start like properly being on that website, like sending nudes?
Okay.
Because there's a finger.
It's yeah. You know what? I would say maybe 200 grand. Nudes, 200 grand for lewds, sexy photos. Nudes is gonna be up there.
Okay, so your dick's covered, but it's like suggestive.
Yeah,
like
there's
you're
a
laid
sock
out
in
like
there.
the Titanic scene.
Yeah, 200 grand.
200 grand.
What?
Yeah.
Is there like a new like
I
NFT?
am embarrassing much cheaper.
Where what are you at?
I don't know. What do you?
How much do you want for those Savoys behind you?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, like probably 50.
50. But can you design a
cheap whore.
nude like an
Cheap
NFT
whore.
and it
It'd be
explodes?
funny. Like it'd be on brand.
I did an NFT and I sold 10.
Yeah. But here's my tech, right? So can we find a way that like the nude is unlocked by your optic retina scan, but if another eye looks at it, it shuts down?
Oh man, like that. I would do that one for like
It's the manager.
Oh, good. Can
Just
I
one
use
second.
Make him
this?
apologize.
I'm about to make a
Andrew,
bold.
how are you?
I'm not too bad. Gosh, you're funny when you're stoned.
I
I
was
think
very,
you need to be stoned more often.
yeah, I was very stoned last night.
Wants to do more drugs.
So I just wanted to say I'm currently on the Luke and Lewis podcast, and you're on the air.
I beg your pardon?
I said I'm on the Luke and Lewis, like Lewis Spears podcast and Luke Kidgel podcast, and we were just talking about you. And apparently, one time you saw Lewis, and he did a set, and you said that was really good, but you used to be shit 2 years ago.
Yeah, well,
So I said that was a nice compliment from you because at least you're honest. He wants an apology.
why? Because I told him it improved. Apologising to him because I said he improved.
It's just you could have just said you've gotten a lot better. You didn't have to say that I was really shit. That's all.
I don't think I said you were really shit.
Oh, you said I was awful.
My mouth there, buddy. I may have said you were pretty shit, but not really shit.
There's a difference. Lewis.
Okay, all right, fine.
Andrew.
Well, you know what? You don't have to apologize, but I'm not going to say thank you.
What did you say? I didn't hear the last bit.
Look, I don't even know what he said.
He said he's not going to apologize, but he's not going to say thank you.
Okay, he's not going to apologize, but he's not going to say thank you.
Pass
Oh,
it down
fair
there.
enough.
I've got another idea as well.
What's your other idea, bud?
If Alex gets punched in the face and becomes brain dead, will you tour him as the loosest Aussie vegetable?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. The potato expedition is going to be called.
What's it going to be called?
The potato expedition.
Great.
All right, thanks, AT. I'll speak to you later.
All right, bye.
Boys,
Great.
I'm going to make a bold call. Never been done on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Amos, I apologize. I'm going to have my first podcast piss.
Oh my god.
I
are
am
you
busting.
really?
On
I don't know
camera.
what's happened. I drank so much
Camera
water.
too. Keelan, get the jar.
How long's it been?
And only like 40 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
know whether to bring it up or
embarrassing.
not.
Dude,
I
I'm
can't
fucking-
concentrate. I feel like I'm not as funny to go excuse myself for 5 minutes, boys. All right.
All right, just me and Amos then. Yeah, all right. Okay, no pause. We'll leave it in. Okay, great. So you did Adelaide. That looked fucking ridiculous. You were doing like, you said you did 5,000
I don't talk
people.
without Luke.
Oh, you don't talk without. All right. Should we sign language?
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that you giving me a dick and I just sucked it? Is that what
I
that
don't
was?
know. I mean, that's what's come out of your head.
No, okay. I did Adelaide. Mate, it was great. And it was because Adelaide had a civic duty to come out. And you said this, and I saw your videos about like the pandemic as well. Perth and Adelaide were like, we have to shine.
Yeah.
We've done better than other places.
Oh, yeah.
So like everyone in Adelaide, like our festival directors were like, this is our time to show everyone that this is like a
Yes.
livable city. Come out. And so people were just like on the streets everywhere. Whereas Melbourne has still got PTSD.
Oh, yeah. Melbourne is like, it was horrible going through it. And watching Adelaide and Perth, they were absolutely rubbing it in. As they should, because we deserve it for years of trashing your cities for being
For sure.
worse, which they are. But we're not over it because we got out and then we went back in and now we're out and everyone's like, yeah, but for how long? You know, I think everyone is still like, well, maybe I won't go to something just in case I make it worse and I have to go.
But
back
it's
to
like it's
lockdown.
cliche and hacky or whatever. But like I truly am feeling all the jokes. Like I walk into an elevator where there's already 3, and you do get people who are like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah,
And like I'm touching buttons.
yeah.
I don't elbow.
You know why?
Like I'm like a savage.
You
that,
know why?
comes to another land and they're like, it needs to be civilized. This
It's
guy's raw dogging
because-
buttons.
It's because we had
Raw
our
dogging.
little lockdown and everyone came out. We were like, all right, we can do whatever the fuck we
Yeah.
want. No mask, lick the windows, all good. And then we fucked up bad and we had 100 days. And then we've come out and everyone's like, don't make us go in again.
We all learn our lesson.
Yes.
And we all know how quickly they react. Like 5 cases, like we all know it's over.
Yeah.
If it's like 5 cases. Like
How
what-
bad was it?
It was like 900 cases a day, I think.
That was like the actual like full lockdown. Like,
mean,
Oh, it was awful. Yeah.
But I don't have any like problems chilling at home because I'm lucky. I never struggle with mental health or anything. So I feel like I wasn't complaining.
no, I know a lot of people who it was truly the greatest thing to happen to them. My brother's got some like
Yeah.
real, just like stoner friends who just got more money than ever in their life.
Yep.
Yeah.
They bought surfboards and then like they got in a van and drove to Byron Bay and got Job Seeker and Job Keeper.
Yes.
That was sick. That
Just
was
the
awesome.
people who made
Job
that
keeper.
greatest.
play was people who got out but are Victorian citizens who are on the JobKeeper. Genius.
Greatest time ever.
Yeah.
Right. And like there is definitely a feel. I speak about like there was something exciting about like the excuse for failure that we all as a generation have now, which was, do you know how many people will be saying in like 20 years to their kids, I could like 2019,
Yeah.
but COVID and
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it
the new.
robbed.
That's the new injury when I was good at footy.
It is the ACL as a society.
Did
Where we're
you-
all like a dad that busted their knee? We had
Yeah.
a knee blowout.
Man, I will admit there was like it was 2 weeks before the comedy festival started. It got cancelled. There was like, you know when you got like 40 minutes
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like, don't really have the hour yet. There was a little sick part of me that was like, oh, full
Thank God.
bullet dodged. You know what I mean?
But now I even like when I have stuff on that I don't want to do in the future, I'm already like I have a little part of my brain that's like I just want like 3 cases. I just want like a little lockdown,
snap lockdown.
just another snap
It's
lockdown.
5 days to reset.
And you know what I mean? Then you like get to cancel things.
Yeah.
You drop out. Like I've got a bunch of work I'm meant to be doing like coming up that I just don't wish I was doing, like a mining tour. And I'm like, can WA just get like 2?
Yeah, just 2.
Well, how weird was there 1? They
Yeah.
had 1 of the UK strain and then we all had to stop the festival and no one caught it.
Yeah, it was very weird. Oh yeah, because you had to cancel like
Yeah,
half
I had
your
to
shows.
half of Perth, and I got out
Yeah.
like the next day.
That's expensive.
And I did 1 week ISO
Yeah,
coming back, and fuck. Like, all the jokes I make about
100
not
days
not
was
good.
rough.
Like not good. How many were people fucking still? Did anyone get a read on that? Because I just read an article in the Herald Sun today that said that there's 900 prostitutes now working in Melbourne City,
Yeah.
and they had like a record.
Well, yeah,
outlay.
I think I had a couple come to
all?
my show.
That's all there is. 900.
It's just like guys that go there a lot. They do the rounds.
Mate,
you
they
know?
work hard. Those 900
No,
women
but
work
like
hard.
you feel like they'd see a few familiar faces coming.
Well, how many prostitutes do you think there would be?
Oh, I would have thought in the thousands, but I guess how many brothels are there? I got clearly no perspective of that. How many brothels are there here?
Well, in where my old warehouse was, there was 4.
Yeah, that's the thing. We used to be there was 4 brothels around near where we used to do our
That's
show.
where the
So I
podcast
think maybe
was?
that
Literally
completely
the brothel
warped my
capital of Melbourne.
perspective.
The levels that you guys have gone up.
Oh.
Although this could be a
Look at
brothel
this.
for I don't know, like
It could
real
be.
high
It's a
end.
fuck
Did you see the
den.
double shower in there?
That's what. Why is everything marble in the bathrooms?
It's
Money.
a fuck den.
That's why.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and you guys don't look like coke taking men.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no,
you
it's
look
not
like
our
you would eat
vibe.
Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to do a line off this. You'll probably get a bit of sandpaper and like wood chips in your nose too.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a very nice establishment, but it isn't our vibe. I agree. Although the floors, I mean, I'm such a child that these floors, I think it's great because they're good for skateboarding. So I skateboard up and back.
But
the
why
whole
is
time.
and who's got Heelys on?
Ruben?
We decided that the best way to make a good first impression with all the business people here would be to buy the whole team Heelys, and only Rubens have arrived.
America.
We're still waiting on ours. It's been a month.
I had Heelys in about 2006
How good.
and was mercilessly bullied for having them.
Really?
Like, I wore them on a casual day.
Not here, mate. It's a safe space.
How old?
How old was I?
Yeah.
I reckon it was year 9.
Yeah.
I had Heelys.
Bit old.
Mum.
Bit old. That's a very cool in primary school. I'm siding with the bullies here.
Yeah, and
Bit old.
I'll just never forget. I put them on, and I'm walking up the school, and where all the lockers were, I just rolled in, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's Heelys, man!" And just the excitable tone I had,
Yeah.
I immediately died off as I saw everyone's faces, and they're like.
So you really thought like this will get the lads
Well, I
on
thought
board.
the skater kids would like welcome me in, but they were like, "No, Joe, you can't have wheels built into your shoe. You either ride a skateboard or you're nothing." But they were like big, fucking chunky.
Yeah,
Like they were like globes with wheels in them. But like
Yeah.
this is like a van.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cooler looking now.
But why are you wearing them?
Because they don't fit anyone else.
No,
Yeah.
I don't mean like size guide wise. I mean like why are they? Why are
We
you
bought
guys doing
one
it?
for the whole
we just
team.
we wanted to
pair
make a
each.
splash.
So
because
why
we're
is
the
it bad
new
of me
guys.
in year 9 to have them, but you guys are getting away?
We're cool, bro. Whatever
I
we do
bought
is
high
cool.
top ones with SpongeBob on them. I don't think at any point we said they were cool. We just aren't getting the same judgmental looks because there's no peers to judge
That's
us.
true.
here.
I got to bring a guy called Anthony Alker in here.
Yeah.
Who is a Lebanese restaurateur who beat the shit out of me in high school.
It'll rip us to shreds.
I'll be like, Anthony, I got fresh meat for you. It's been a long time since the last Healy bashing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we haven't seen the response yet with our audience. We might get absolutely ripped to shreds in the comments. Although people were pretty pro Heelys when we bought them up. A bit
Do
of
they save?
nostalgia.
Like, do they save time? Like, do they go? Are you fast?
I wouldn't know
on
yet.
them?
You have to ask Ruben.
I would say they're more fun than time saving.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless
But
you're
like
a hill.
activity.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to go down a hill. I don't think you could go down a hill on Heelys. Or like maybe a very narrow
see.
incline.
You could. I reckon you could.
I'll
Yeah,
race
we'll have to
you.
give it a go.
In
Like
on
the
foot?
running
Yeah.
versus.
Yeah, flatties versus Heelys.
All right. Yeah.
Battle on a slight incline.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to sprint. I've just got to like
Jog.
jog or
Yeah.
pace walk, and I still think I'd beat a heel.
I don't think so.
You probably
I
would.
can go pretty fast. It's just that you don't get a long stretch with a heel, like because it has to be smooth.
Ruben
Because you
needs
keep
a
being
run-up.
pushed over by children who are bullying you.
yeah.
Yeah, and Ruben's like the size of most children, so they win every time.
You'll lose on the Heelys against
I
a
think
run.
you'd
I don't
lose.
think so.
Yeah.
Against a run, yes, but he
Yeah.
said a light jog.
He said a walk.
I said a brisk walk.
Oh,
Okay,
then
well,
easy.
after this
I'm
episode-
taking it.
I'll
Yeah,
brisk
there's
walk
a
the
slight
fuck
incline
outta
about
here.
100
Yeah.
meters away.
After this episode, let's fucking
Alright, I'll do
we'll
it,
film
mate.
it. We'll
Alright.
do it. We'll put it at the end of this episode. Stick
Let's
around.
How's that for a fucking hanger out? That's for a teaser. A Heelys versus Shoeys race.
Yeah, Heelys
you
versus
go.
flatties is a great call. I've never heard anyone refer to shoes
And
as
then the
flatties.
Oh man, I told you I was in this culture a long time
I was
ago.
gonna say, it's-
I thought I'd be bullying people with their flatties.
This is
but,
not your first rodeo.
I'll do a fucking, and the winner should do a Healy, like a shoey out of the heel.
I wanted to. So you actually came on the Luke and Lewis radio show a while ago. Not many people would have seen it because Luke was away at the time for
and that's
some
why
reason.
everyone tunes in. So
And so this is the first time that you've come on with Luke and I. But I think now that you're on this thing, I wanted you to retell that story
It's
of
so
you performing at the school.
Truly the most appalling day of my life.
okay,
Like, I got a gig request from like a fellow comedian who's an English teacher at like a sort of semi-country, I would say, like what's like an hour from Melbourne.
I don't know, like Geelong,
Yeah, like maybe like a Geelong, something like that.
but either way, like Warragul.
And
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
regional town.
Almost regional town, yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I'm an English teacher and I'm trying to show kids that you can be involved in the arts and use words, but it doesn't have to be in a snooty way. Like you've created a career out of essentially being, like a dick joke poet. That's like what comedy is. And I'm just trying to get these country kids enthused about English.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. He's like, so come down and we'll do stand up for the year 12s, the 10s, 11s, 12s in like the drama center. You just do your hour, like do the full hour.
Oh, the whole hour.
Do the hour.
Sick.
And he's like, I'll pay you $2,000. And I was like, all right, whatever, fine. And I go, but surely I shouldn't do like the act because this is like a really dirty show I was doing. He's like, yep. He goes, these kids have got the internet, man. Like, I'm not going to pretend like they've never heard swear words or sex content. I'm a cool teacher, just do it.
Is he also going to pretend that he didn't ask the parents' permission?
Yeah, I don't know what forms
Regional.
were signed. So like I roll up
What a sick, soon to be unemployed teacher.
and I start and I'm like a little bit in and it's just flatlining. It's doing so bad. And I realize it's not just 10s, like there's like year 8s, 9s, 10s, 11, 12. And like they're obviously not interested in seeing my stand up and I'm doing sex jokes. And this kid just pops up and he's like, "Oi, man, that's fucked. We're in year 9." He's like, "No, we don't know about sex because like we're year 9. You're a pedo. Why are you saying that?" And then this kid's killing, right?
Ooh.
And I'm looking around going, "Yeah, what am I?" I'm talking about choking girls and saying daddy and
To
like,
kids.
yeah, and I realized, well, I look at the teacher, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I thought it was going to be like 30 year 12s.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the show. And you could tell he's in trouble.
Yeah.
So I keep doing the act. It's gone pretty bad. And then they do a Q&A. And I cut the show to like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm getting angry at how bad I'm bombing that I start doing crowd work to the kids. So I'm like, and there's no like, what's your name? What do you do? So I'm like, who's in a relationship here?
Yeah.
The school kids. And then this one guy who's heckling, I'm like, oh, I bet he gets no fucking pussy, the loser. And again, they're like, you're picking on a kid. And I'm like, oh my
That's
God.
actually reasonable to not get much pussy as a child.
Like he's literally 14.
Yeah. You go, well, actually, that's kind of illegal. So,
Like, he's got a lunchbox with him. Like, he's
the
eating
only box
roll-ups,
he's
not
touched
pussy.
all
You
year.
know what I mean?
The lunchbox.
So it's bad. Real bad. And then they do a Q&A.
I'm loving this extended version.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
telling.
Like,
This
so
is,
it's like, they're going to do a
How
Q&A.
did you tell us on radio?
And a kid puts up his hand for the Q&A because no one's interested in asking a question. It's so embarrassing. And he's just like, hey, quick question. What's it like being a comedian but not being funny?
Oh,
He's like, is that hard? Is there trials and tribulations in your career with this? And I go, yeah, man, it's tough. Like very good. And I've got nothing left, I'm like, yeah, I don't know
accepting the
why I
loss.
do it. Right. And then the next kid puts up his hand and he's like, hey, have you ever met Lewis Spears? Because he's actually funny.
oh, that's so brutal.
And then I said, I know Lewis Spears and he would fucking hate you. Right?
and
then I
that's
was
so
like,
true.
correct.
And these kids were just like, no, he wouldn't. You suck. And it like starts to devolve as we like argue over Lewis. But because he said that, I drove home. It was like that hour-long drive, and I had Lewis videos up, and I just had hatred for Lewis. Like I didn't know why. I was like, "Fuck Lewis Spears. What's Lewis Spears got? Oh, what do they like Lewis for?" And then I saw him on the radio show, and I was like, "I'm getting fucking chewed out by children, telling me that I suck and they like you. Fuck you and your little fans, little TikTok empire of bullies." It's like I have Heelys on again. It was the most savage, and like the way they looked at me. Do you know Lewis Spears? He's like, get tips.
Fuck.
Get some tips.
And it's so funny because like, what you would have been like 2 years into it then? Yeah, maybe less.
Oh, mate, it was. I can't imagine a worse feeling because like when kids don't like you, it is just so
Because just you being on the stage should make a kid go, this guy's killing it. He's amazing. I wish I was him.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do.
And I made a joke, because they were the public school, I made jokes about how, like, you know, I really resented being there because, like, the private school was down the road, and I thought I'd do, like, that gear, and they were like, no, I'd lost them from the top. And then you're just looking at teachers like, oh, my God, I'm going to be on a current affair. Like, why have we...
Did the teacher or no, like what happened to that?
He just came over to me and goes, this. I swear to God, he goes, man, like, the kids... They loved it. They just...
just lied.
He's like, they loved it. He goes, you know, kids, they don't laugh the way that we do in a comedy show because they're afraid to. But I bet you they walked home and they loved that experience, man. And I'm like, what about the kid that asked me, what's it like doing comedy without being funny? He's like, yeah, I think that's just his way. You know what I mean? Of just like
what a
being
positive
funny
guy.
too, you know?
But what a liar.
Yeah.
Oh, such a lie.
Yeah.
I can't work out if that guy's a good friend or a bad person.
I've done a couple schools. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they know I am. They're like, oh, look, bachelor guy, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Because they see him and they go, oh, he knows Lewis Spears. He's going to be sick.
Like, are you mates with Lewis Spears?
So just being at the school, wandering around, I felt like, why am I here? Like,
I was wondering through the
I had a leather
recess.
jacket on as well. I'm like, this feels off.
Yeah.
that's
That really is my crowd, though. High school kids that would bully an adult man.
Yeah,
like, that's, you know,
And-
I'm a little
but,
bit
like,
proud of him.
No, but did well. Whoever, he was Murray Bridge. Like, dude, you
Oh, that's where the Fairbairn boys are from.
Yeah, rinsed me to a level that I've never experienced. Like, I think about, sometimes I'm about to go on stage and I just think of that kid.
Yeah.
Just standing over the back of the room like, what's it like to do comedy without being funny? And I'm like,
Yeah.
it is a challenge. You little cunt. And then, like, in my head, I was just like, you live in Murray Bridge, mate.
What
Yeah.
year was
Hey,
this?
this is like, when was that? It was like 2019.
Oh, so that's brutal because at this point, I think the first time I ever saw you, I'd seen you for the first time ever perform in a stadium.
Yeah,
So
I
you've
know.
already opened, like, 'cause you were
Jim
opening for
Jeffries.
Jim
Yeah.
Jeffries.
I went from literally Rod Laver Arena to the Murray Bridge High.
Jeez, what a fall from grace.
And got absolutely toasted by this
Comedy
child.
has its ups and downs, doesn't it?
No, but that's why there's no room for ego in stand-up. Like,
No.
you'll do... I did that in 1 month. I did like O2 Arena, Madison Square Garden, Rod Laver Arena, all with Jim,
Yeah.
and then Murray Bridge High.
Yeah.
And then you do like another gig to like 19. It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
What's it like doing? I know this is an obvious question, but like, what's it like doing an arena? Is it weird because you can't hear the laughter as much?
No, the laughter you hear, it's just the best.
Deafening.
Oh, I love it. Because
Which one was the best?
I liked Madison Square Garden the best just because the day was, we drove in, we did sound check at the Garden, you get a slice of pizza, you know, you like, it really grows in you at the fucking Garden.
It's crazy.
Did the gig, it went well, and then the Wu-Tang Clan were there.
Oh.
And they were like fist bumping, like that was funny. Russell Crowe came over, he was like, that was very funny, mate.
Sick.
And then
yeah,
you had,
every Australian in New York would have
just
been
came out to see Jim, right?
Yeah.
And then we went and watched Billy Joel, like in one of his final concerts.
It's the most New York day of
It was
all
just
time.
the most exactly perfect. And then, like, you know, we stayed out, we had a big night, and you just look at those gigs. And I always say this to Jim, I'm like, that is the best day of my life. And that was me supporting you.
Yeah.
You know, like, how good must you feel? Like, I just
Yeah.
did 15 minutes, your name on the bill, but he didn't even really enjoy it that much because I remember he was still angry because they used a photo of him, like the press photo on the billboard. We were walking and he just saw it. He's like, why the fuck did they use that photo? He's like, I hate that photo.
Yeah.
And like, we're about to walk on stage at the Garden and he's still muttering to me like, fucking cunts. They've ruined this. And I'm like, dude, you're performing in the Garden. He's like, nah, that fucking photo.
That's so funny.
But that's like all the greats I know, and no, they're never like satisfied. It's got to keep.
I mean, I guess that's the only way you get there. When you become satisfied, you're like, oh, this is pretty good. You know, that might be all you get to.
But I sometimes think, I'm like, if I did die, like if I stopped comedy, I'll be like, well, I have done some cool venues, but it's not. You can get a big ego because you open for someone at like, you're like, man, I've done the O2. But it's like, well, because Jim always says that to me, like I'll run long before him, I'll meant to do a 15, I'll do like a 20.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like milking it.
Yeah.
And we get side of stage, and I remember one time he said to me at Rod Laver, he goes, you think if they said, oh, Jim's sick, and you'll just have more of Amos, they'd be happy?
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking think that? And he's like, you think if I wasn't here, you'd be at you'd be on one of the show courts. like at the Australian Open complex performing to 9 people. He's like, "Cunt, watch this," and he just like walked on and murders for like 90 minutes. And
Yeah, Luke and I saw both.
I think we went
Jim's
to both of
shows,
them.
the arena ones, and it was like it. That and then also going to America and seeing like American comics who've been doing it for decades was like, oh, I had no idea you could even get that good.
Seeing the
at
store
comedy.
for the first time, like, or the Comedy Cellar in New York, I was like, just like go there and just be in all your old shit. It made me feel like so bad. Like you come here and you crush with like at the Comic Sans with like some stuff that's pretty good, and then you see like guys like Louis C.K. and stuff murder for like half an hour. I mean, D'Elia, I've never seen anyone crush a room harder than D'Elia and Santino.
Then you look at your own gear and you're like,
Jesus Christ.
fucking quit, you piece of shit.
How did you go at the store? You've done the store.
Well, I worked up to the store. Like there's like a
Americans like you?
system. Yeah, like they do. I remember when, because to get on, there's like it's like a proper process. It's Monday night, and then it's like you're an open spot. Then they call development spots. Yeah. So you actually go up the tiers. Then if you're on a development spot and you're doing well,
And there's no shortcuts.
no shortcuts. They don't give a fuck who you like. I had D'Elia, Jim, like all go, yeah, they'll vouch for him. They're like, don't care. You have to start.
Yep.
And then you work your way to like regular. Then you're paid regular. And if you're a paid regular, everyone gets an email who's a paid regular. And they're like, congratulations, welcome to the family. And then you call in like an office and you get your slot times. You get a car park. You get a chair you can sit on.
Cool.
Well, I didn't even realize when I started. I went and sat in one of the showrooms on a chair and they're like, get up. I was like, why? The room's empty. They're like, that's a paid regular seat and you're not a paid regular. And some people,
That's so American.
some people hate that, but I love
I think that's
hierarchies. I'm like, I like to work.
Something to achieve.
Yeah, if you do well enough, you can sit on a torn leather chair.
So where did you get to?
I got to development slots, so I was like opening the shows, and then COVID happened.
But you pretty much have to live there to like get to be a paid regular at those places.
For
right?
sure. No, they want you to like hang out there all the time. But it's amazing.
So is that your goal to like move on from Australia and kind of do what Jim's done? Because I kind of have this.
I think so.
This thing where I'm like, I really feel like there's skill wise, there's a limit to how good you can get here because there's just not enough gigs.
Not enough gigs, not enough competition. Like when you're on at the store and you know that Chappelle might come on after you, or you know you got like Tim Dillon and Theo Von or whatever, or Segura.
Yeah,
you're like, maybe I gotta go up a level,
yeah.
or I'm gonna be fucking embarrassed.
Yeah,
you know, like if I don't improve here. You know, if you're in Comics Lounge, you very rarely are like, oh no, Lemo's going to blow me away here.
Well, it's true because
like no offense to Lemo, like he's a good.
You're going to get us in trouble.
No, it's like I like Chappelle a lot,
Yeah,
and I think Chappelle is a better comedian than Lemo.
But also, I think-
would anyone in the comments disagree? If there's anyone who's like, I stand Lemo over Chappelle.
No, but I think there's a reason.
I love you, Anthony Lehman.
Yeah.
But like even me, like, do I compare to Chappelle? Fuck off. None of us do.
Yes.
So you'd lift.
But I think there's a reason in Australia as to why the standard's not as good in general is because you have to have a side hustle to make a living. You have to do radio or TV as a comedian if you want to just do comedy.
You got to do like Kia commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's like, you know, if you're fucking Dave Hughes, you could do the Comics Lounge, I don't know, a few times a week, and get paid.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're not paying rent off.
But
that.
like in America, you do a tour. We can do what? There's 5 cities here. You can do 50 when you're there, and then even in California, there's like 4 different spots you can go to. You know, the actual bit of LA,
and there's like a
San
good
Francisco, San Diego, like
diversity of like kind of comedians in America.
That's what I noticed as well, like in New York, because Andrew Schultz kind of took me around and showed me the spots, and I ran around with him one night and did like, I didn't do them, I was just with him watching do all of the spots. And like, yeah, all of the comedians were different. And also, like, we've been told our whole lives that Australia is one of the diverse countries in the world. It's fucking not.
No.
Like, I went to New York and I was like, oh my God, like, I've never seen this many people from all different backgrounds.
Like I miss the most doing like black rooms.
Yeah.
Like when you do like an
black
all
dudes
black
laughing
room,
is crazy.
like people like,
Yeah.
and if you bomb, like properly getting chewed out, but like if you're killing, people like really getting enthusiastic rather than in Melbourne, like, it's very good.
Yeah, like Andrew's doing some new bit about, I can't remember what, some sex bit, and that was real gross. And like he was crushing, and then like 3 black guys at the back were like, yo, this dude's crazy. Like, you would just know, I would come if someone yelled at my show, this dude's crazy.
I remember when I first went, right? When I first got into comedy, like I loved footy.
Yeah.
And I remember first moving into like comedy circles And everyone on there was just like, footy's dumb, footballers are awful, footy culture sucks, Aussie bloke culture sucks. And it's like, I was playing like footy teams at the time, and I was like, I don't think so. Like, I think there's some bad dudes in all society, but like,
That's sick.
I have no issue with enjoying footy. And they try to like de-bloat, like any like blokey culture. They're like, that's awful. It doesn't really belong in stand-up. And whether they say it exclusively or not, but it's like all those people, all those hipsters thought you were dumb for playing footy. And then I moved to America and people are watching the baseball, the NFL in the bar, and like, it's like they're happy to be themselves. But the thing that's always shat me is, okay, when I came into comedy, all those like inner city hipsters told me footy was dumb.
Yeah.
And now those same people are the ones who are saying that women's football is so important. And I'm like, well, pick a lane. Either sport's dumb, right? Or maybe you're just using women's football as like a cultural war. Yeah.
Or maybe you're just trying to get laid.
No, but like, you know, there's all these like feminists that have hated footy forever. And now that girls start playing, they're like, it's a great game.
It's used as a hammer against.
It's a hammer against. And it's like, you're not even those girls that play footy like men's football players. They looked up to them.
How do you think they learn the rules?
That's all I fucking hate about the town is like when I don't think that you're genuine.
Yeah.
Like if there's a dude who's like a communist, but I think he genuinely believes it, I'd be better friends with him than someone who pretends. Like there's nothing worse. And the comedy scene is full of pretenders who are careerists who will say whatever they've got to do to be in the circles to get on the TV show. And it's the worst.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like that's just every industry though. Like literally, like I talked to my brother about it. He works in an office job.
I think
and he's just like, oh, like the amount of politics and bullshit. It's just it comes with everything.
Right. Do you think there's like performative woke stuff in like, you know, online sex work where there's like a girl's about to start masturbating and she's like, hey, I'm about to like finger myself, but before I do that, I just want to say we are on Ghana land.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like they do a welcome to country.
I think so.
Dude, yeah.
Because like we have to do it. Welcome to country. I'm about to squirt on sacred land.
Yeah.
Because like we have to, like
Yeah,
for instance, we have to do the welcome to country before we do stand up.
Well,
At
you
the
do.
festival, we do. Now, I'm obviously when I look at that, and I've got Aboriginal friends who are just like, it's so empty. The gesture. It's like this is Indigenous land.
performative.
It's like, well, yes. Are you going to give it up for this festival that you're using it on? No, you're not, and it always was, always will be. But you're not going to give it up. So I don't like things like that where it's like, yeah, we're just pointing out that we've done the wrong thing in the past, but we're not going
It's
to change.
ultimately performative, and also for the festival, it's to get government money, it's for grant money. I think.
But now I
A lot
can't.
of it.
I actually am obsessed with the idea of like a really woke OnlyFans chick.
That's really funny.
Dude, it would 100% exist.
I mean, have you seen? If you follow
We
any of
have
them
to
on
see a welcome to
Instagram-
country. Like that is the funniest.
If you follow them on Instagram, like that's that's all those infographics they post. They're halfway there.
Dude, I'm like, I need to see that girl. Can we
Sick.
create
Yeah,
a character?
let's do it. We could put Keelan in a wig.
I'm gonna ask
What's
you.
next for
Andrew
you? What do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
What's next?
Mate, I just want the festival show to, finish. I've got Sydney,
Yeah.
I got Perth, and then I'm just gonna work on another good hour. All I want, dude, I've learnt now. Like as long as I'm paying my bills, I get through. I just like the process of doing stand-up comedy. It's all I love.
Yeah.
Just write the jokes, find a take, hang out with people you like. Money is only important enough to me that I keep doing this, that you pay the bills and you get to do it, because this is the only thing that's like worthwhile. If you start thinking too much about just like goals, like I need to buy that or I have this, terrible. If you just keep being good, which is very hard. Like it is hard to keep writing good shit.
And
I don't know
get
right
better.
now if you guys, I'm already thinking about next year's show. I'm like, I got nothing. I got a story about my grandpa wiping my grandma's ass. That's all I've got for next year's show.
I look forward to it.
Oh, it's fuck. I might tell you quickly here. This is before I left. Like my grandma's got dementia, and I walked in on my grandpa wiping her ass because he's like a soul carer. Amazing man.
Yeah.
He's wiping the ass, and I make eye contact with him, and he goes, "Always remember, you must wipe away, or you'll get the shit in the can." It's like he's integrated. Like he's only now an Australian, but like You'll get the shit in the cunt.
Oh,
And to hear like a 90-year-old Croatian man say cunt was one of the most, I was as patriotic as I've ever been.
Yeah.
I think that's a good note to end on.
That's
You know, a bit of a
amazing.
lesson as
And
well.
I'd say this, if you are wiping a dementia-addled woman's vagina and ass, always make sure you wipe away or UTIs will be in abundance.
Great.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Amos.
That's a hot tip.
Hot tip to the young TikTokers out there.
Hot tip for some hot shit. Amos is going to be all around the country. Just Google his name. You'll find tickets. He's performing everywhere. One of my favorite acts in the country. Go see him. Check him out. And,
My manager said he's sorry.
oh,
He's just-
Great. All right. Thank you so much. That's a win for me.
Mate, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, boys.
All right, that's it. Bye. All right, we're here with Amos Gill. He made a big call in our show that he would be faster than Ruben in Heelys with his flatties. But the rule is he cannot run, he cannot jog. It's Olympic walking. He reckons he would be faster down a hill.
Absolutely. Did you say up a hill or down a hill?
Down a
Yeah,
hill,
and
down a
you got no chance down a hill.
And
No, I got you.
by the way, by flatties, it's just shoes.
I feel like distance is my friend.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, it ain't even close, baby.
Oh my God! Oh,
Nah, it's a clear win by Amos. Amos has got the win. Flatties have won the day.
clear winner, no contest. Amos Gill with the Olympic walking, faster
wouldn't
than
even-
Ruben in Heelys.
I would even say didn't even break a sweat.
This is a fucking bad day for the heel
If I
community.
okay, give me a let's just for honour, I get a little bit of a run up.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, that's not fucking walking.
Oh.
Easy win and a sore loss by Ruben. He's already angry. He's disputing it. Give it up, mate. Congratulations,
Flat
Amos.
life.
Well done. Flat life.
Flat life.
A great day for shoes wearers, a terrible day for the Healy community.